Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Hazel here, and before we get into the video, there's a few things I'd like to say. Firstly, I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Eiichiro Oda's magnum opus One Piece is a manga that is rich with world building and detailed storytelling. In this world, many people are born with supernatural strength, speed, and durability. Others can achieve similar or greater levels of power through the consuming of one of the various devil fruits, giving one power as simple seeming as the ability to make clothes from various objects to the ability to call down earthquakes, lightning, magma, ice, and other powerful elements, even becoming those elements. Devil fruit users of the category Logia are the ones who can transform into elements. As such, they are almost completely impervious to all forms of physical attack. For this reason, it is considered almost impossible to beat a Logia fruit user unless you have a devil fruit of your own, or a special power that bypasses their invulnerability. One of these powers is ironically possible for anyone in the One Piece world to learn, but requires a huge amount of mastery. That power is Haki. If you've seen our earlier video on Haki, you would have learned that Haki is divided into three basic forms. Today we'll be covering the most commonly expressed and used Haki in the series, Armament Haki. Now, if you've not watched our previous video on Haki, I'd suggest checking that out first. But if you either just watched this video or have already watched the deep dive on Haki and need a refresher, Haki is one of the power systems in the world of One Piece. Haki is utilized by the power of a user's spirit. It is expressed via the strength of their will and ambition. And any living being can use Haki in some way, shape, or form. There are three general types: color of armament, color of observation, and color of the conquer. Today, to reiterate, we will be going over Armament Haki. The first time that the viewers see an example of Armament Haki would be in the Water 7 arc. During that arc, Luffy's grandfather, Monkey D. Garp, hero of the Marines, hits Luffy a few times to scold him. It is established that Luffy, as a rubber man, is immune to most forms of blunt force damage, felt pain from the otherwise normal-looking attacks. Garp stated that the attacks hurt because of familial love, but it is more than likely an example of Oda hinting at a power that would be seen in the series. The next time we see someone use Armament Haki is during the Straw Hat Crew's first time on the Sapoedi Archipelago. After Luffy punches the lights of a celestial dragon, he incurs the wrath of the world government, which sends a Marine Admiral, a pacifista, and several Marines after Luffy. Sentomaru was amongst their ranks and harmed Luffy with bludgeoning attacks. The large man attacked with such force and strength that Luffy thought the large man was a devil fruit user. Sentomaru asserts that he is not a devil fruit user, letting the readers know explicitly that there is a power and ability in the world outside of the devil fruits and 6 powers. The first time the term Haki was name-dropped was when Luffy had been transported to the all-woman warrior island of Amazon Lily, where the Kujas, the people of that island, launched dangerous Haki-infused arrows at him. Eventually, he was captured and in his escape attempt, gained the ire of the leader of the Kujas and her 2 sisters. Luffy experienced Haki once more, fighting against 2 of the 3 Gorgon sisters of Amazon Lily, Boa Sandersonia and Boa Marigold. Both proved capable of harming Luffy with their Haki-infused attacks, with Marigold showing enough mastery in Armament Haki to deflect Luffy's attack. Luffy eventually overcame their power with his enhanced abilities with a greater level of firepower, but it was by now established that Haki made its user extremely powerful and potent against devil fruits. In the aftermath of the Marineford War, Luffy is trained by the Dark King Rayleigh, the second in command to the legendary Pirate King Gold D. Roger. During that time, he is finally taught what Haki is and how to utilize it. Buso Shoku Haki, also known as Armament Haki, is the form of Haki that allows the user to coat their bodies in an invisible armor of spiritual energy. This armor increases their defenses, allowing a sufficiently skilled user to block any form of physical damage, from fists to blades and weapons, and with some sufficiently skilled users, attacks from the elements. However, Armament Haki, despite its name, is more famous for its offensive ability. With even a small amount of coating, Armament Haki can and will bypass the defenses of most Logia users. This could be seen both during the events in the Sapoedi Archipelago, with Rayleigh facing the Admiral Kizaru, who had a devil fruit that turned him into light, and even earlier in the Water 7 arc, when Garp hit Luffy to scold him and his punches were able to bypass Luffy's rubbery nature and hurt him. Just quickly interrupting today's video to let you all know that finally, at last, we have received our 70k merch! If you're excited in picking up some high quality merch, the link will be in the top line of the description. I recommend hurrying. Though some items are limited and will only be available for a limited time, these items are also signed by James Seifer. Link in the description below, and thank you all for 70k subscribers. Now let's get back to the video. The most basic application of Armament Haki is Hardening. In this, the user coats a part of their body in Haki. Before the time skip, any use of Haki was invisible, but post time skip, anytime someone used Armament Haki, their skin and clothing would be coated in black in the area that was covered in Haki. This black coating is probably not visible to any characters in-universe and likely serves as a visual cue for the audience to show that Haki is being used and to differentiate between an item imbued with Haki and an item not imbued with Haki. The black coating often has a unique tint based on its user. Luffy, for example, has Haki with a red tint, while Charlotte Katakuri, the most powerful of Big Mom's crew, has a light blue tint to his Armament Haki. Hardening's main purpose is to increase the attack and defense power of the user. With it, Luffy was capable of shattering a steel sword with a Haki-powered headbutt. Like all forms of Armament Haki, this gives the user the capability of striking a Devil Fruit user who would otherwise be untouchable. A strong concentration of Busoshoku Haki on a person's body can cause flame-shaped patterns to appear at the edges of the locations affected by hardening. This strengthened form of Armament Haki allows the user to bypass most weaker concentrations of Haki. With it, Luffy was capable of breaking through Doflamingo's Haki-infused string, which had before been capable of blocking Luffy's strongest attacks without the Flame Haki. Doflamingo's string, by courtesy of his Devil Fruit, was stronger than steel and had allowed him to create a massive bird cage so strong that hundreds of pirates and citizens in the area he entrapped were incapable of cutting through the string, including Zoro, Luffy's right-hand man, who is a swordsman so capable he could cut through a mountain-sized monstrosity made of solid stone. The next type of Armament Haki implementation is Imbuement. A Busoshoku Haki user can harden an object they touch to imbue it with Armament Haki, allowing them to boost the weapon in the same way they boost their own body. These weapons gain a new degree of offensive power, one example being that of the Kuja warriors, who imbued arrows with Haki, allowing them to blast through solid stone as if shooting a normal arrow through a sheet of tissue paper. Defensively, the weapons imbued with Armament Haki also boosted superior defenses, keeping the weapon from being damaged as easily and increasing its lifespan. Armament Haki was not just limited to melee weapons. As mentioned before, arrows and other ranged projectiles, including bullets and even body parts detached via Devil Fruit powers, could be imbued with Haki, sometimes without even having to touch the items first. Even clothing could be infused with Haki, providing an increase in defense and some offensive capabilities. The third and most advanced form of Armament Haki was emission. A skilled enough user of Armament Haki could cause its power to flow out of their body and unleash a burst of energy, capable of knocking back anything with the force of an extremely powerful punch. This technique was first demonstrated by Sentomaru, who struck Luffy without even touching him. Luffy was later taught this technique in the Wano arc, and after training with it was capable of using the technique's greatest strength. As an advanced form of Busoshoku Haki, the technique could bypass the defenses of most beings, dealing great amounts of internal damage to the user. This technique was a strong contributing factor to Luffy's victory over Kaido. Kaido had created a fiery version of his beast form in their final clash, intending to keep Luffy from touching him. However, using emission, Luffy was capable of dealing the finishing blow, spelling that Yonko's end. Armament Haki is the most straightforward of Haki techniques, but is also responsible for some of the most dynamic moments in One Piece for that reason. It is a type of Haki one will think of most often when it comes to taking out Devil Fruit users, and any specialist in Armament Haki is often going to be seen as a physical powerhouse in their own right. But Haki is not without weaknesses. An attack with greater force and strength, even without the aid of Haki, will bypass someone else's Haki-infused attack, and when two Haki users face off each other, a combination of their strength of body and strength of Haki will often be the deciding factor of the fight. Armament Haki also only protects the surface of the user, allowing advanced techniques like emission the capability of defeating a combatant who overly relies on their Haki. This causes a greater chain reaction, however, since the surface layer of the person is defended but the internals of the body is still vulnerable. Attacks that deal with internal pressure will often leave the target's body in a broken state as the force reverberates within them instead of escaping out of the body. Like other forms of Haki, Armament Haki is awakened in a tense situation, but unlike Observation Haki awakening which overloads one's senses for a time, Armament Haki awakening lasts for only a short moment and must be actively tapped into to activate and train once again. Armament Haki is trained through repetition, practice, and battle, and seems to improve the greatest when pitted against others with stronger Haki. As a technique that is powered by the user's will, strong-willed people often can use Haki to a stronger degree. When it comes to the most powerful people in the world of One Piece, more often than not, they have demonstrated Armament Haki in their repertoire to great degrees of proficiency. Luffy will continue having to train up his mastery of Haki to contend with these last few challenges who stand in the way of his dream. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now there's a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, as well as the editor for this video. Their details will be in the description below. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up the head of one of those areas. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested and hit that like button if you liked the video. Until next time, peace out mortals, have an amazing day.